Hey, this is Kate and Adam with ENTA Asks, and we have something super special coming up. Dominic, Lindia, and Anthony Trotta. We are talking to real live in the Calgary industry, film actors, directors, and we get all of the backstage passes. Come check it out.
Okay, let's do this. This is super exciting. We have an actor and director from the Calgary film industry on set with us today. So this is Dominic Lindia. He is a local director. And we have Anthony Trotta, an actor here in Calgary. So welcome, guys. Thank you.
It's awesome to be here.
Thanks for coming. We're so excited because we've talked about like how you got into this. We started there. Then we got to hear all about your premiere, which is coming out December 3rd. If you guys missed it, if you didn't get to see it, it'll be coming out on in early 2022, right? And you can check it out on Dominic Lindia's YouTube channel, Dominic Lindia, and we'll put the link below. So you guys can check out the premiere if you missed it. I know I'm gonna have to follow up.
Yeah, we'll put the trailer below too.
Yeah, we'll put the trailer below so you can see it. But we want to talk about the actual like film industry, and I think there's a lot of filming going on here in Alberta. So like, what is it like?
So the hardest part about, there is a lot of filming going on. There's a lot of productions, a lot of HBO, Warner Brothers, a lot of stuff going on in Calgary. But the hardest part is it's not necessarily from what you think. You think it's going to be a lot of people get opportunities from Calgary to really direct and write and do what they want. But it's a lot of the little runner stuff. It's just a lot of just production assistant work, and it's a lot of more of the grunt work. So with all these companies, especially in America, because it's worth more money to come film in Canada than it is in the US, it's worth more. So at the end of the day, a lot of stuff is going on, but unless you are already an American director or a foreign director, writer that's got their project off the ground in America, it's gonna be really hard for you to get into those really elite spots as a Canadian. So
So basically, the big studios come to town to shoot a movie and they hire some local talent to fill the crew or whatever. But yeah, you're not having an opportunity to like direct, for example.
No, absolutely not. So that's the biggest thing I noticed, especially being in Calgary, is there are these opportunities, and there are a lot of people that really, in the same boat as me, have always wanted to kind of just work up the ranks and become a director or writer. But the hardest part is you have to do your own work. You're not just going to go to a studio and they're going to give you an offer to direct or write. You have to go with your own. And the hardest part in Calgary is just getting that exposure. So there's a lot of other like-minded people like you who want to be on sound and be on light. So you can kind of assemble, in theory, like a ragtag team to make your movie.
Right.
And with that, you can kind of work yourself up the ranks.
Because it's not like you have a producer sitting around in Hollywood, holy, this guy's from Calgary, put him top of the pile, right?
It's like, so I had to self-publish a book because nobody wanted to publish a children's author who wasn't previously published. So I was how do I get published? Well, you have to be published to get published. Can you help me? No. So you're like bootstrapping it. We call that bootstrapping.
So you basically have to break that vicious cycle. It's basically, at the end of the day, a lot of these people in Hollywood either have had a foot in the door through family or just some connection, or they've really grinded it out at festival. And those two paths are very notable, but they're very hard, especially in Canada, where some of the biggest film festivals in Canada are already overwhelmed by American population.
And what about in the acting world?
Well, like there's always been kind of opportunities like in Calgary, but it's mostly like smaller opportunities. Like this year I noticed that there's been a lot more opportunities for actors, even to be on the backstage side of things. Like I have friends that are mainly actors that have like taken a hand at like, being an assistant now, or some are extras.
Right.
So it's a lot of that work in Calgary. And I feel like starting there is a really good place because you get experience on the set and you get to see maybe film isn't for me. Maybe I want to do more like, TV, or I want to do theater or a different kind of acting. So in a sense, it's kind of good to start small in Calgary and you can branch out because Canada's great. We have like Vancouver and Toronto, which are like major like film spots. And if you start, maybe in like the big leagues, you might get a little afraid right away, but if you start kind of smaller and work your way up slowly, gradually,
allows you to find your niche.
Easy to win,
So there's lots of opportunity to test it out, a few different roles, be on set, kind of meet some of
It's not as competitive in Calgary either.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, I had a girlfriend who played extra roles for, like 5 or 6 years, and she finally just landed a main role here in Calgary, and it was super exciting.
Yeah.
Right? And I love it when, we are taking talent, because we have a lot of talent here.
We have a lot of undiscovered talent, especially like what I said. It's a lot of people, who knows, Sate might have the next great gaffer, the great cinematographer, but you never know because their exposure is so limited. But if at the end of the day, the greats that do make it, they always find a way to persevere. And that's what I notice a lot of people like me and Anthony who we work with, we'll literally trench our way out and just eventually we'll blossom.
Oh, well, and you're gonna have the best characters out of that and the best directors
Oh,
out of that,
absolutely.
because you've done it the hard way.
Oh yeah.
So tell me this though, there's other ways, like you talked about film festivals and you talked about kind of bootstrapping it and kind of building your own ragtag team and just putting it out there like what you did with your premiere, but there's also these contests that they run.
Yep.
And you've done a few of these. Can you tell me some of those?
So the most notable one that I did was about a year ago. Warner Brothers was holding a contest. And it was just send in a short film related to one of the films that was coming out, one of the Christopher Nolan films. And I just literally got my team together. I was like, look, let's shoot this. We shot it in about a day. Kind of broke the bank. Not broke the bank, but for us, we were younger. We didn't have a lot of money. We're just kind of like putting holds on our debit cards. We didn't have any money. And we just sent it out, and there's 600, 700 people going against us, big companies, and eventually out of like 700 people, we just came in like top 10. We didn't win, which would have been a lot of money, but just the fact that we could just kind of trench our way through and just keep our story true to ourselves and not play with studio money, it was more rewarding than actually winning and just kind of succumbing to someone else's vision.
Right, so you bootstrapped it, and
Exactly,
what did you, like, what position did you get?
It was within the top 10. We don't know, but it was within the top 10.
That's amazing.
Well, and you know, if I'm Warner Brothers, I'm holding those competitions, I'm probably looking at the top 10, let's say, right?
For
the
sure.
winner for sure. But like, you know, when you get to that part, you're
on the radar.
picking
Exactly,
first, second, third, you're on someone's radar.
Exactly, yeah.
Right?
That's really cool. Were you in that one as well?
I wasn't, but funny story, what ended up coming of that was my first opportunity working with Dominic. His short film that ended up being Trance was based off of that contest movie, and he wanted to make it a full-fledged short movie, like a full beginning, middle, and end story.
Yeah.
And that was my first time working with Dominic. Was on that.
And I've
second
watched that.
time.
That's on your YouTube channel. Yes, amazing. So was that the only competition you done, or there's another?
So we've done a lot of different competition. The main reason I do the competition isn't necessarily for the exposure. It's like I said, you need to really have your own team together and have your own money. So when it comes to working and all that and just getting this little extra money for, I don't know, to pay for a set or pay for food for your actors, because that's what I'm mainly concerned about, is just making sure my actors are cared for. These little competitions, like even little like safety videos or little around your neighborhood kind of things, just those little ones with little prizes, $500 to $1,000, that covers the little expenses that you don't have to pay out of pocket.
Right. So it kind of funds the next big
Exactly,
idea.
it's just a little bit of money.
Right.
That's amazing. So how else can people support you? By subscribing to your YouTube
Just
channel?
subscribing to the YouTube channel, coming to check out the movie, just spreading word of mouth. That's really all we can do for now until we keep going with the next project, and eventually we'll find some more producers and just find some more people to fund, just front the money for us.
Excellent. Do you have your next big vision? You know what it is?
I have some ideas. I just want to keep it more on the down low for now until this one's done. But I obviously have some key players in mind and just some big stuff.
Yeah.
It's me.
Well, stay tuned, because next episode we're going to try and wrangle it out of Dominic what he's got going on next. So
Oh,
that was epic.
so great. Join us next time on ENTA Ask.